I'm a subsistence fisherman. I lived in Bristol Bay, and that's all I do for a living is I fish. And I want to thank everybody for showing up. And I want to, first of all, let's give a big hand to the cooks here for the wonderful job here. Yeah. Thank you so much. That was very wonderful. I mean, I tasted that salmon. It's almost as good as Nutrigag. Super. And this process that the Keystone is putting before us, I tell you that I feel very uncomfortable with it. I feel that it is not a true process. I went through the EPA process over there in Dillingham, and I can tell you that the people in Dillingham, the people on the Nutrigag River, the people that are living in ground zero support the EPA process because it's independent, it's not bought, and we have no say in regards to what they do. And it's a better process than the Keystone process. You know, the question always boils down to, can mining and salmon coexist? What do you think?
No!
No, 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 no. Not no. Hell no!
Hell no!
That's a lie. You gotta remember that. No, cannot exist. I mean, one of the concerns I know that, you know, we are a people that live in the area, we live in ground zero, we watch things from day to day. And one of the things that we have seen over the years is a decline in salmon on the Cockatoo. And it's the people that have brought this to the state of Alaska, brought this to the officials and say, hey, you need to do something. Something is happening out there. Maybe it's the 1,200 holes that they dig. And maybe it's because they're digging in an acidic soil. Maybe it's because they're using drilling mud that is not supposed to be used around salmon. But something has got to happen, because what was a flourishing river, the Cockatoo River, where people from Nustuya and Ekwok had depended on those red salmon up in that river, have all of a sudden disappeared. And there's no better person to describe what's happening in the Cockatoo than a man named Lukiak Katak, who comes from Ekwok. He has lived up there, he has gone up there for years, and he will tell you that the river is dead. What happened? Why did it happen? There are a lot of unanswered scientific questions that needs to be asked and answered. And we need to demand that they be answered. Because we cannot reconstruct the river when it dies. So it's very important that we ask the right questions, we ask them to come out there to Bristol Bay, that we ask them to take a real hard look at the EPA scientific review and get behind this. So thank you all again for coming and enjoying the salmon, and thank you to the people that organized and put this event together. Thank you very much.
Now, I'd like to introduce Werner Wilson. He's been a really strong warrior for Bristol Bay for many years now, as young as he is. He's only in his mid-20s or so, something like that, but even before he started college, he knew that he wanted to do work to protect the pristine environment of Bristol Bay, the environment that creates the largest run of salmon, wild salmon in the world. So I'd like to introduce you, Werner Wilson III.
Thank you all very much for coming. Tom's a role model for mine from Dillingham, and I've seen him out in the bay sometimes and corking him off. But I just wanted to say that being in there in the Keystone, they've really they gave me some knowledge about Pebble, and that was that I asked a question about would this waste be over 99% waste at Pebble, and the scientists there confirmed that over 99% of the waste of the geology at Pebble would be waste. And do we want that in the Bristol Bay region? Is what we have to ask.
Hell no!
No! And another thing, I was the only Alaskan who was able to go to Anglo-American meeting in London a few years ago. And when I was there, I saw people who were in respirators. And they said that Anglo-American promised them to give them health care. They made all of these promises. People traveling all over the world to go and express their disappointment to Anglo-Americans for not keeping their promises. Do we want that in Bristol Bay?
Hell no!
What I want in Bristol Bay is to have the great wild salmon fishery that we've had for generations and that I'm proud to be part of. You know, nutritionists call salmon as one of the healthiest foods that people can eat. It's one of the top 10 superfoods. And so I want to thank you for helping fishing families and future generations by being here at this valley today. And you get rewarded by eating one of the top 10 superfoods. So enjoy it. Thank you.
I'd like to introduce Christina Salmon. She was able to be here all the way from the village of Idiaga at the throat of Iliamna Lake. She's another shining example of young leadership. And without further ado, Christina Salmon.
My daughter Danica, and I'm not a scientist or a teacher or I guess anything really great, but I've given up a lot of my life and a lot of my time and a lot of time away from. I have 3 children, and I feel guilty because I'm gone from home a lot, fighting for a cause I'm very passionate about. And then I look back at them, and they're pretty adjusted to me never being home now, which, I don't know, is kind of sad and okay at the same time, but when I feel guilty about leaving all the time, I realize that they're the reason I'm doing this, and I don't, 50 years from now, I don't want to look back and see if this open pit mine, next door to us, and say that I didn't try to stop it, or I didn't give my best effort. And so that's why I'm here, and I'd just like to thank everyone for coming out today and being patient with Danica Fishery. I know she's kind of been wandering around the meeting. She came out here and threw some signs, but I'm working on raising the next generation of leaders in our area as well. So thanks again.
I'd like to introduce an elder from Bristol Bay, Melvin Brown. He serves on the Bristol Bay Native Corporation Board. Bristol Bay Native Corporation has shown a lot of leadership in terms of, taking a strong stance on protecting Bristol Bay. Melvin Brown, if you could come up and say a few words, that would be great.
Thank you for the opportunity to talk today. This is a very important time that we need the unity that we're seeing here today. The unity is growing all over Alaska, all over even in the United States, and maybe even in Canada. We need to be strong together. As we become more united, we can stop this mine. This mine is way too big, and we cannot afford to lose the fishery that is the world's largest fishery in the world. Our family, Melanie's family, we represented in one time 5 generations. Our grandparents passed this great opportunity to fish down to us, and now her children, my grandchildren, are very much a part of the fishery. The Keystone approach. I felt ice there this morning. It was quiet. And they were directed only wanting to put out our information and disregarding some of the other science that has been done in our area. For example, Tim Troll. You look at some of the others that have been there that have done core samples to study the different ages of fish that have hit in the Bristol Bay area. Mostly the salmon, the core samples were done going all the way back to 1857. This was back in 1980. They mentioned nothing about that science. When we talk about science, we want to be inclusive also of all of those that have studied the fish, the ways to keep them going, generations after generations. Thanks for the unity that we see here today. We need to be strong. This is going to be, unfortunately, kind of a long battle, I'm afraid. But we can do it together.
We have another BBNC representative in our midst, right here. Joe Cheisel is here to say a few words.
Joe Cheisel from Bristol Bay. I'm on, as mentioned, Bristol Bay Native Corporation Board. And I want to say that the main reason why we're all in this together is because in 2009, Bristol Bay Native Corporation went out of its shell and proclaimed to the world that we were against the Pebble Mine. And I am happy to see since then so many of our young people, our people from all over the region as well as the state have come and joined us on this effort. And I want to thank you folks for being here today. And I want to state that we're in this fight together to save our salmon. And we hope that many of our young people that I see here today will be able to enjoy what we enjoyed for years. And I want to promise that Bristol Bay Native Corporation will be with you all the way. So thank you for being here.
He's a representative from the village of Non-Dalton.
Hi, my name is Phil Kitty. I'm from Non-Dalton, and I really appreciate you guys' time and effort. We need all the help we can get. This involves everybody. So help us, help yourself. Like the guys are talking. Thanks again.
Is there anybody else that has a big fire in their to enjoy more salmon and company and just thank you so much for being here. I can't or it's I mean all Alaskans are stakeholders. This is a very important resource that we need to protect. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Okay, I think I'm next. Right?
Really?
It's salmon.
It's funny, I was wondering who was holding the salmon. Like, I didn't even see you. I just saw the salmon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This
You
is
should have
salmon
seen these
watching.
salmon when we were building them over the winter. All over our living room.
Not even.
Busy getting ready for our annual fundraiser.
Is it going to be in Homer again? Oh, wow, not coming.
Can you take a ferry?
It's smaller.
Smaller.